To understand the motion of a rigid body, first we have to understand what is rigid body. Rigid body is a solid body in which distance between any 2 points in the object itself remains constant in time. That means there is no deformation regardless of any external force or movements exerted on it. Let's take an example of pure translational motion. Here in this picture you see a solid block in which there are 3 points A, B and C identified, and their initial position is recorded in any coordinate system like a Cartesian coordinate system as A, B and C. Now this object is set to move in a constant velocity motion in a straight line. All the points on this block will move with the same velocity. That means each particle of the body moves by equal displacement d in equal interval of time, and their relative positions to each other does not change with time. This remains constant. But what about when an object rotates? Rotates about a fixed axis, like in this case, axis passing through point O. Are all the particles on that object have same velocity, have same displacement and in same interval of time? If not, then what about particles' relative position to each other? Let's understand the rotational motion of a rigid body and motion of its different particles. Here you see a rigid object, a solid disk. The O is the center point of the disk and P is a point on the periphery of this disk. This disk rotates about a fixed axis passing through point O. Here OP is a reference line which is fixed in the body or in the disk and perpendicular to the axis of rotation, and it rotates with the body. The distance of P is R, which is nothing but the radius of the disk. And now disk start rotating and it reached to another angular position which is given by theta. Theta is a angular position of this reference line OP with respect to its initial position. Here the distance covered by the point P is given by S equal to R theta, where R is the radial distance of P from the axis of rotation and theta is its angular position. So here R measured in meters and theta in radians. Now what about the linear velocity of this particle? Linear velocity of particle is given by the derivative of s with respect to time, as we have seen in case of circular motion of particles. So by this relation we get V is equal to omega cross R. Omega is the angular velocity of particle P or the reference line OP. What about the acceleration or linear acceleration of this particle P? This is a derivative of V with respect to time. And here we get A equal to alpha cross R. Alpha is the angular acceleration of point P or the reference line OP. Remember the A, the acceleration, is acceleration of point P on the disk, while alpha is the angular acceleration of point P, or it can be angular acceleration of reference line OP or the rigid body. Alpha remains same for all the particles on the disk, but not the acceleration A. So here we have seen the relation between the linear or tangential and angular quantities of a particle on a rigid body. Here the important thing is to remember that all the angular quantities must be measured in radians unit of measure for all of these relations. For example, here the theta is the angular displacement, must be in radians. The angular velocity should be radians per second and the angular acceleration must be in radians per second square. Because this relation is derived from the definition of theta, which is equal to S upon R, and this is a ratio of two linear quantities. In that particular condition, theta value must be in radians. Okay. So that's the reason whenever you have this relation of linear versus angular quantities, you must have theta in radians. Now let's understand the different physical quantities related to linear and angular motion for different particles on this rigid body or disk. Here you see a disk on which there are two stickers, green and yellow. Yellow sticker is a distance of R1 from the center, and the green sticker is at a distance of R2 from the center or from axis of rotation. When the disk rotates, these stickers also rotates with the disk and cover a angular displacement of theta. Here you see the angular displacement done by green and yellow sticker, both are same and equal to theta. What about the distance covered by these stickers during this motion? Yellow sticker rotates in a circle of radius R1 and the green sticker rotates in a circle of R2. Here S1 equal to theta dot R1 and S2 is given by the angular displacement multiplied by the radial distance of green sticker from its center. So here R1 is greater than R2. We saw in the diagram here, this is R1 is the radius, this one, and R2 is this one. So it means the S1 is greater than S2. Now let's check out the angular and linear velocities of different particles of a rigid body. In the same example, we must understand that each and every particle of the disk rotates with the same angular velocity as the disk rotates. So in this case, the disk is rotating with omega. It means each and every particle, means the green sticker as well as yellow sticker, both also rotate with the same angular velocity. Now what about their linear speed? The linear speed depends on the distance of the particle or the point from the axis of rotation. If the distance is more, its linear speed will be more. How? Because here the V1 is given by omega R1 and the V2 at any instant of time, the velocity of particle or green particle, V2 is omega R2. Now here omega is same in both the cases for each and every particle of this disk, but the difference is their distance from the axis of rotation. So in this case, R1 is greater than R2. It means the velocity V1 is greater than V2. Now let's check out about the linear acceleration. If the disk is rotating with the angular acceleration alpha, it means all the particles of the disk is rotating with same angular acceleration. But what about the linear acceleration? Linear acceleration depends on the radial or the perpendicular distance of the particle from the axis of rotation. So here the A1, the acceleration of yellow sticker is alpha R1 and A2 is alpha R2. And now we know that R1 is greater than R2. It means the acceleration of yellow sticker is more than the linear acceleration of green sticker. So what we understood from whatever analysis we have done, we understood that in case of pure rotational motion, the angular displacement of each and every particle of a rigid body is same. Similarly, the angular velocity of each and every particle is same, and the same thing is for angular acceleration. But what about their corresponding linear physical quantities like the linear distance or displacement covered, or the linear speed or velocity or acceleration? All of these three linear quantities depends on the radial distance of that particle from the axis of rotation. More the distance, more the value. Now let's apply our understanding to solve some examples. So how much distance covered by a point on a disk? Here in this case, this yellow point, at a radial distance of r1 on the completion of 1.25 revolutions. So 1.25 revolutions means a complete cycle which is around 360 degree plus 90 degree. So its 1.25 revolution is equal to 360 plus 90, which is equivalent to 2 pi plus pi by 2 radians, and this is equal to 5 by 2 pi. So now the S1, the distance covered during this motion, is given by 5 by 2 pi multiplied by radial distance r1. So this is the answer for this question. Now example number 2. A disk of radius 50 centimeter rotating with a constant angular speed of pi radians per second. So here the radius of the disk is 50 centimeter, which is equal to 0.5 meter, and the angular speed omega is pi radians per second. Now we have to find out what is the linear speed of particle at the periphery. So the particle at periphery, let's assume the speed is v1, that is given by omega r. R is the radius of the disk. So here omega is pi, r is 0.5. So this is equal to 0.5 pi meters per second. So this is answer for it. Now at distance 20 centimeter from the center, so there is another point which is 20 centimeter from the axis of rotation. For this point, assume the linear velocity of this point is v2, that can be given by omega r1. So here, or r2 you can say, r2 is nothing but 20 centimeter. So this is equal to pi multiplied by 0.2 meter and equal to 0.2 pi meter per second. So this is answer for second part of it. Now there is third part of this question is, what is the linear speed of the point at center itself? So center means center exists at the axis of rotation. So the radial distance of this point from the axis of rotation is 0. So velocity of this point, which is v3, omega r3, and here r3 is equal to 0. So this gives you v3 equal to 0. So which particle is moving with maximum speed? So in this case, or in any case, the particle at the periphery will be having the maximum speed. So here this is v1, which is equal to 0.5 pi meter per second. And it's time for question for you. Put your answers in comment box. And that's all we have for today's session. I hope you would have enjoyed this. And if you think you have learned something new today, then please click like button and subscribe us for similar type of videos. Thank you for watching. See you next time. Bye.